What's going on? It's Fist, bringing it straight from my heart for media because that's what I do. And I wanted to talk about the perk system that was slapped on to the Exo Black Ops 2 DLC. Now, if you don't know what I mean, go back and watch my podcast where I talked about an hour where the developer literally told you how this game is being developed and why it's being developed and what this game is. And you understand that this game was developed for 3 years with specific intentions of focusing on the exo suit and not the core of the game, which is gunplay. And that's not my words, that's developers' own words. You go watch the last video. I posted the link in the article. And now I'm going to show you how that runs parallel to what I'm saying, because you could tell that they worked 3 years on the exosuit, but then they just slapped on the Pick 13 system and they added a couple 3 things, and the perks are still not. When you look at the perks you could tell they didn't have time to balance the perks with the game itself. Now, lightweight lends itself to increased movement speed with guns, weapons, your exosuit, whatever it may be. So first off, we know that you're going to be able to move faster. So that's going to change the game all in itself right there, and all together, because if you can move really fast, then obviously people that cannot grasp that concept of moving, and you're adding lightweight in the first tier perk slot, then you're going to have issues where they're not going to be able to comprehend that. And so what they go into is they go into this protective shell, and then they don't want to play the game because it's an exosuit. So how are you adding perks from a military game like Black Ops and then put it on this game? It just doesn't make sense. So then you look at why it doesn't make sense. You had lightweight, and now you have low profile, invisible to UAVs and tracking rounds. So that tells you right there alone that if the person cannot grasp and comprehend this game, and the exosuits of moving faster with the weapons, then they go right into turtle mode, and they go into hiding, and they go into using this. It's either one or the other. Then they go into a low profile situation where they start to hide from UAVs, and they start camping, and then they don't have to worry about being tracked. Now you have danger close, which is increased explosives and score streak damage. So it works both ways, because if you get score streak damage, then a person's going to want to camp harder for it, that they don't have to move around, and you're just going to come to them. Then that's going to work perfect for their style of gameplay. So you can see, you're looking at these perks, and you're like, this is not conducive to exo style gameplay. I mean, the exosuit's probably a great idea, but slapping on this perk system from a dead game isn't conducive to what you're trying to present here. So now you got Overcharged, which extends your exo ability, battery life, and shocks enemies on impact of a boost slam. So you only get 1 battery per life, and once it goes down, it dies. So if you want to be moving around all this time and you're boosting all over the place, your battery's going to die eventually. So once you're going to have to die or have this perk. So if you're a guy that's running around trying to find this guy that's camping, your battery's eventually going to run down. And there's no dead silence. So you're going to hear footsteps, and then the guy that's camping is going to ruin not only this game, but their whole idea of exo suits and the abilities. Flak Jacket. Now, if this guy goes for +2 on perks, then obviously he's going to be low profile or score damage, and he's going to reduce damage taken from explosives, no shutdown from explosive damage, and reset grenades on throwbacks. So the guy can sit there and camp, throwback, and reset, and everything, and he's got the upper hand on you. And the reason why I say that is because when you're exosuiting around, you show up on the radar, and if you only have a limited time in a battery, so they know. And this is why this game is broken, and it's only broken because they implemented this perk system from Black Ops 2, because you can't just slap this game on there. Cold-blooded, immune to thermal targets, enhanced threat grenades, enemy callouts, no name displayed on reticle color change, and when when your enemy aims at you, I mean, that's like the camper's dream right there. Undetectable by tracking drones, explosive drones, all score streaks except UAV. What I'm saying here is that this game, once you run out of your battery pack, there's no dead silence, so they can hear footsteps. They could just wait you out. There's nothing you could do. Undetectable blind eye from explosive drones, score streaks, UAV. I already said that. So you know, you see the combinations here. This game, with all intents and purposes, is going to be no different than Black Ops 2. And when you look at it and you're saying to yourself, well, why would they put all this stuff in here? Increases minimap coverage, take out enemies without displaying death icons. Increase minimap coverage, take out enemies without displaying death icons. So you could have you could be sitting camping and you could just sit these certain combinations, and you're not going to need fast hands. You're not going to need these things because you're sitting in a corner. You don't have to burn your exosuit. You could put ping on your exosuit camping with peripherals, and there's nothing nobody can do. This game, you do not need the exosuit. You could literally, the exosuit is almost like a turtle shell. You literally are the exo abilities of dashing, boosting, and sliding and moving all around. If 25% of the team plays a certain way of camping, this game is done. So, gung-ho, fire while sprinting and sliding. Sure, that's all great if everybody played the game with the intentions of playing gung-ho style of running around. But that's not going to happen because they're not going to be able to have the abilities, and I covered this in all my videos, you know, extra peripherals that you have to buy outside of the game. This game, I mean, they thought of the idea of exosuit, and yeah, great, fast hands, reloading, sprinting, swap, fast swap. Yeah, everybody in the beginning is going to be using this, but once they figure out the camping spots, why would I need that? I could just set up shop on you, and there's nothing you can do. You burn out your battery pack, your exosuit's done, you have to burn a perk just for you to hide from me, and once your exo pack burns out, you're on your feet, and I'm going to hear footsteps because there's no dead silence in the game. I've gotten you beat. Campers are going to rule this game. The exosuit seems like it was going to be a great idea, but you have to realize it's deeper than that. It took you 3 years, I understand, to figure out, you know, the mechanics of it boosting around. But just slapping on the Black Ops 2 point and perk system isn't going to help you. Reduce shooting while flinching. Well, I don't know if you would use that if you don't need to use that if you're camping. If only if you're going 1v1, you know, so your gun doesn't reel backwards while you're shooting at somebody. Camper's not going to worry about this. I mean, this is more or less a MLG esports thing. It's pointless to the rest of us because nobody's playing in that respect of the game, so they're not going to respect that perk. Most likely, you're going to have campers using like Scavenger. Start with an extra magazine, resupply bullet ammo from dead enemies. So you sit there and you got all your little gadgets and shit set up, and people are trying to find you and kill you. The battery packs are running out. And then once their battery pack runs out and you kill them, you just resupply on their shit. So I mean, so you can see if I get this game, I'm gonna show you how terrible. I don't even have to play this game. I already know how vile people who play Call of Duty who can't play this game. That's why it was so successful as an arcade shooter, because it made it really easy for everybody to use all the weapons. Now they're getting so intricate, people don't have time to figure it out. They go into a turtle shell camping mode style of gameplay, and this is strictly conducive to that. Now you look at a blast suppressor. Don't show an enemy minimap when using your exo movements. So if you have your exo abilities and you have to burn a perk, now you can't use any of these other slot 2 perks, so you can't be seen. You're going to be stuck between either blast suppressor or toughness. Why would you care about blast suppressor? Because once your battery runs out on your exosuit, it's pointless because your exosuit's going to be irrelevant at that point. Probably going to want to use toughness. Hardware, immune system hack, EMP. Now this is great for a camper. Look at this. Stun grenades and scrambles, nano swarms, immune to everything. Immune to everything. This game is specifically made for somebody to set up shop. Specifically made for setting up shop. Like I said, these perks are not thought out perks that run parallel to the exosuit abilities. Like, and it's crazy. This Dieridorf guy says the core of the game is gunplay, and now we're over here looking at how perks complement the exosuits, in which they don't. It turns it into a camping game. And the score streaks increase by 100. Who gives a shit? Who's gonna use that? You know, you're gonna be little tryhards on YouTube trying to get jumping around from room to room to room to room to try to get these great score streaks that are gonna be irrelevant. All right, exosuits, Exo Stim temporarily generates health beyond normal rounds, normal levels. That would be your camper. You know, he would probably use this because you got Flak Jacket on and you got health plus. What is it? You know, that the one thing that everybody hated. Juggernaut. You got Juggernaut and Flak Jacket in this game for campers. This is crazy. Like I'm just surprised, you know, because the reason I'm surprised is you got Guy BM over there. He's ex Call of Duty 4 player. I mean, like, he should know these things. Like, he's the community manager. Like, how do you not understand that the Exo Sim is going to be used as Juggernaut with Flak Jacket? And then once a person comes around a corner and sees you, you'll be able to rock their world. There's nothing they could do against you. So, I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm going Exo abilities plus the perks, and then you add that into there. That's just crazy. So, anyways, let's move along here. Exo Overclock, increase foot speed. Yeah, you're gonna use this, but you still run out of battery. So let's say you got your regular boost on, which the thing is that if you add these extra overclocks on, your boost is still gonna burn your battery. I don't know if boost burns your battery. I don't know if it's burns the battery or if it's tied into the exosuit. I'm not sure on that. I think maybe boost is automatic always. In either case, you still have to burn a perk to use it. But Exo Shield, a quick deploy of the shield. I mean, take your pick, Juggernaut or Shield. Whichever one lasts longer in a camper's eyes, that's what they're going to be using. Exo Shield or extra health. If you're a great shot and you're a dirty camper, you'd probably want to use extra health because you're going to get in a gunfight and you're going to kill somebody. You don't want to use the Exo Shield because it'll burn your battery faster in a fight that you probably are not going to win anyway because you've been camping and you already missed a shot, so you're probably going to burn that out. So I'd probably say you want to use the Exo Stim because you get the health and you got a great shot, so you could take a couple hits and your health will be higher and it'll come down and you just, the battery will burn down a little bit, but you'll be able to shoot the guy and you'll be able to kill him. Exo Hover, I mean, come on. Who is going to use Exo Hover? This is probably going to be some 4-on-4 esports shit where one guy goes up in the air and he can scout where the other 3 guys are going. That's basically what this is for. This is going to be irrelevant. The battery's going to run out on it really quick, and you burn a huge Exo ability for nothing. And the only reason why you would have this is to scout another team in a esports gameplay. That would be the only reason for this. There's no really use for it. Somebody's just going to shoot you out of the sky. Exo Cloak, visually conceal you for a short duration. I mean, yeah. I mean, invisibility in Call of Duty, I think it's ridiculous. I shouldn't even be in there. But I don't think either way, you would have like stuff that would set up and it only runs for a short period of time, and you'll probably be able to see like a blurriness. So it's probably not even going to really work, especially if you're a camper and somebody comes through the doorway. You're going to see like, how those heat waves are, and you would see something. So it's not like it's going to be like superior where you would not see somebody. Destroy incoming grenades and rockets. The Exo Trophy System. I mean, it's obvious like what this is for. This is esports. Nobody really gives a shit about this. I mean, maybe a camper between health and shield. So if let's say somebody thinks they're going to kill you with danger close, and you got Flak Jacket on, and you got an Exo Trophy that you don't even have to lay out. It's based on the battery pack on your back. So let's say you get killed as a camper, and you have the... So campers are probably going to use the shield, the sim, and the trophy. and you're going to probably figure out which one is the best. And if you get into a spot that they can't get to you and you got the angle on them with the weapon, you're going to throw the trophy on because they're going to try to bank shot grenades off of you. And you're just going to fucking, your battery's just going to stop all of that. And they're just going to get pissed off. I mean, this is shit. When I do this game, if I do it, I'm going to show you how to be the cheapest Black Ops 2 Advanced War player that was ever lived. Exo Ping. I think the Exo Ping is really good too as a camper. I mean, especially if you can, if you got Exo Ping and you're set up in a corner and you got the angle on somebody and they're trying to come in, they're gonna ping right off of that ping, and your suit's gonna catch them, and you're gonna see them before they even walk in the door. They're gonna light up like a Christmas tree. You're gonna be able to shoot them. You're gonna get the jump on them, and that means everything in a lag compensation game. So I mean, most of these Exo abilities are in favor of a camper. Exo Ping, Exo Trophy, Exo Shield, Exo Sim. And I mean, really, what is there? There really isn't anything in there for the regular guy. So, moving right along here, we're gonna go to this next portion of what we're gonna be talking about, and I think that's score streaks. I'm gonna give a little second here for it to go across, but you get the point. What I'm trying to say here, you have all these perks and systems that are from Black Ops 2, the point system, the pick 10, the pick 13 system, whatever you want to call it, and they extended it out and they put it on the I mean, you're talking after like 3 months of development. 3 years you've been developing the exosuit, and now it completely doesn't match what's going on as far as perk and point system wise goes. I don't understand how you could say that the core of gameplay is gunplay when it's the exosuit that you're focusing on, and then the perk and the point system doesn't even match that. It's conducive to nothing but camping. So anyways, here we go. They got Semtex. Obviously, this is, you know, we pretty much know that this is, Semtex. There's nothing really to say about it. It's a sticky grenade. Yeah, right. If a guy's got all that trophy system, Flak Jacket, extra health, shield, what does it really matter if the guy's camping? I mean, you're pitching a grenade. And why would you burn a point on this anyway? And here's the thing, what I'm trying to say. You have 13, 12 points, whatever. You think anybody's going to burn points on that or a pistol? They're not even going to do it. And they're going to burn points on like a tracking drone, something that they don't have to stop and throw. A tracking drone is just there, and it highlights every time somebody's around you. So you can imagine throwing this on your Exo launcher with your Exo suit. You got the tracking drone, you got the ping on your shit, you got everything. I mean, literally, you'd have to literally, and nothing against blind people, but you'd literally have to be blind to be playing Call of Duty and camping and not kill people setting up shop in this game. This will probably be the worst Call of Duty camping game ever made. I know they're showing you a bunch of videos and people jumping and boosting around and all that shit. Give this game about 3 weeks. 3 weeks tops, and it's going to turn into a camp fest. Explosive drone. A proximity trigger drone that tracks enemies and explodes when they near them. Oh my goodness. Tracking drone. Now you get two Exo launchers. So you throw on explosive drone and tracking drone. Throw the explosive drone out the door on either side or whatever, which side you don't want to cover, and a person goes by that, they're going to set it off, and then boom, you got them. They're done. I mean, what, is a person going to carry a stun grenade and come in there? Well, yeah, well, you're going to stun them before they get in the door. You can put the shield on. I mean, here's the thing. You are forcing people to play your style of game. The leverage that is in this game is highly in the favor of a person who camps. So if the leverage of playing this game is highly in favor of a person that camps, then what's going to happen to this game? It's not going to be played as the developers intended it to be played. They want you to run around and do all this exosuit shit, and it's not going to happen. And what's going to happen is it'll wind up being a camping game, and then people are going to get frustrated, and they're going to quit. And first of all, it's not even Call of Duty. So, I mean, I'm just telling you, based on this, what we're looking at here right now, from the history of playing this game, I'm telling you what's going to happen. Just based on the combo package with the perks and the Exo launchers and the Exo suit and the perk point system that's borrowed from Black Ops 2, it's a terrible, terrible idea. I mean, it was like somebody, I don't know who came up with the idea that they were just sitting there and saying, let's do the Exo suit. Let's just do the Exo suit. Let's not worry about anything else. We'll just slap it on later. And then you got threat grenade, temporarily shows enemies through walls, can be manually detonated, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, guys hiding there, what are you going to do? You throw that, you got to burn a point to even use it. And nobody communicates in the game, especially if you're teams and stuff. And so you see the other ones here, smoke, EMP grenade. EMP grenade disables enemies, equipment, and Exo movements can be manually detonated. Disables enemies, equipment, and Exo movements. And I know people are out here watching this video right now, and they're saying, "Cephas, there's the counter. There's the counter." It's not a counter. It's forcing you to play their game. There's no counter to it. There's no counter to camping. It's changing the game because Black Ops 2's perks and point system was broken in the first place. Yeah, you have a great idea, Exo suit. Perks, this is why this point system, perk system doesn't belong with Advanced Warfare. If you're going to make an Exo suit game, then you have to develop a whole new system. Do you understand? You spent 3 years developing Exo jumping around and all that shit. And your smoke grenade's pretty self-explanatory. But think about that. You spent 3 years developing the Exo suit system. And what do? You throw on a military, can cycle through, stun, EMP, threat, smoke, cannot be manually detonated. Well, yeah, so I like the variable grenade. I think it'd be useful, but you see the point that I'm trying to make here. You're forcing people to play a certain way. You borrowed a technique that doesn't work from a different system. It's like taking a Call of Duty 4 map and trying to put it in and try to put it into like a different game. It just doesn't work. The maps were made specifically based on the style, the perks, the gunplay, all that. That's why you can't have all the Call of Duty maps in one specific style of Call of Duty, because some maps will work and some won't. You have to change them, lethal thrown, a drone that returns on command. So, you can throw it out, maybe it checks. If it doesn't hit nothing, it comes back. So it's kind of like a boomerang bomb. I look at it this way. They had to come up with an idea. I guess it took them 3 years to test all this out, and maybe the next version will have a different point and perk system. Now all these other stuff like the UAV and the orbital care package and the remote turret and the X1 Vulcan and the Warbird and blah blah blah. I don't really care about. I really care about the score streaks. I'm sure there's just a fraction of them, and I'm sure there's a ton more out there like set up score streaks, like support score streaks. I'm sure they're in there where you could just set up shop and it's part of your system, and you'll figure that out down the road. And I like the Goliath. Could you imagine you're camping and you get the Goliath and they're consecutive kill streaks? I've seen it in the stream. So if a guy's camping and he gets a score streak and then he gets the Goliath, and then he just sits up in this room. And the funny thing is the Goliath can go underneath anything. You know what I mean? That thing is ridiculously strong. If you get your back up to the wall, there's nobody that can get you. They can't get to you and kill you. They literally have to be shooting at your back or shooting at your head. And if you're in an area that you're camping and all of a sudden you get it and you go back in your little cubby hole, people are just going to leave the game. They're not going to want to play against you. Because it's not Advanced Warfare, and I'm not gonna say it's Call of Duty because it's not. It's like somebody just took parts from other cars and just made another car. I don't even know what it is. The remote turret. Can you imagine throwing that up there? Oh, we'll put the remote turret up. We got the counter UAV, blah blah blah, all this fucking shit. I mean, I don't want to go through every one of them. I mean, just think about it. Just think about the shit that's going to be set up. There's more shit here that you can do as a camper. This is why this game is this is why the game is unbalanced before it even comes out. And I just touched the tip of the iceberg. There is more stuff to talk about camping than there is to talk about rushing. I mean, you have to burn so much to play their game that it's not even going to be fun anymore. That's why the Pick 10 system is broken with this perk system. I'm telling you, right off the rip, that's what's going to happen. And then lastly, I want to cover these wild cards. Obviously, you get the primary gun, you get 1. Overkill, you get 2. Secondary gun, you get stuff on the attachment there. You get extra perk on 1, extra perk on 2, extra perk on 3. I mean, depending on what the camper wants to use, that's on them. Tactician, you get an extra thing with your suit, depending on what you want to use. Bombardier and Streaker. These are all exosuit abilities, so depending on how you want to use those, and like you get extra stuff with your exosuit, and whatever your power of your exosuit is based on that camping ability, man, it's gonna be ridiculous. I mean, I don't want to sit here and cover through all of them. You can pretty much figure it out yourself after this point. Once you look at the perk system, I mean, this game, the Black Ops 2, like I said, the Black Ops 2 Pick 10 system and perk system with all the wild cards and exo abilities and all the other bullshit, you put it in there, it's not conducive to the exosuit development. That's what I'm trying to say. If you played Black Ops 2 and you remember the problems of camping in there, magnifying that times 10 and you put it in this game. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a camp fest. Eventually, people figure that out, and they're going to be realizing that campers have the advantage because of the abilities and the perks and the exo setups. Your advantages of camping far supersedes somebody who rushes. Simply because the battery runs out, you can hear footsteps. The perks lend to the fact that if you don't move and you have to jump on people, and when people have extra peripherals like headphones and all that other shit and super controllers, why wouldn't they set up on you? Anyways, these are all the perks and everything, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And until next time, it's your boy Fist. Peace. I'm out, and tomorrow I'll cover attachments if you want me to. Any questions or comments, leave them below in the descriptions or hit me up on Twitter /F1ST. Peace. I'm out.